Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Jeremy. Thank you for spending some time with me today on this Monday Mindset Check episode of the Crew First Culture podcast. As I've said in the past, these Monday episodes just they kind of come and go as whatever's on my mind, and I may have something that I plan on talking about for 4 or 5 days, and then all of a sudden something happens and that kind of changes. And so they're very fluid, and I try to keep them pretty short so I don't just ramble on about different things. But today is kind of the same deal. I've had actually a couple topics that I've just been kind of waiting to go over, and it seems like when I get close to time to actually record, things happen that bring other things to mind. And so I personally would much rather just go with those things that are really on my heart or on my mind, opposed to the things that I've got on the list just kind of on standby. So most generally, that's what I do. It just kind of go into to what I've been thinking about, and so I will continue that today. And so today, I want to talk about how appreciative we are, and kind of what that looks like, and where we are in that kind of topic. And so really that's it. Pretty self-explanatory, and I think it's something that it's good to hear, it's good to think about, and it's good to really assess where we're at. And to go even further is how appreciative are we of those that mean the most to us, and how much are we showing that appreciation to those people. And so, as I usually do, I like topics that kind of go outside of the realm of firefighting and fire department, especially on these Monday episodes, because I know there's a few people out there that aren't necessarily involved in the fire service, so I'd like to kind of branch out a little bit anyway. But you know, those of us that are in the fire service, we are humans as well, and we have personal lives as well. It doesn't matter what that looks like. Everybody's different. You may be single, you may be married with 10 kids, and so there's a very wide spectrum. But life, we do have life. We do have a personal life, and all the things that come with that. So I like to dig into topics that really affect everybody, and so this is definitely one of those as well. And so, just kind of getting into it, kind of what brought me to this point is, you know, I I've been on a journey of really trying to grow, trying to learn, trying to, and that goes across the board, at home, at work, and and as well, at work, just trying to create create a culture, and trying to do something that I feel is the right thing to do at work. And that's, I've spoken on it several times. It's a true test of patience, because all of those things, they're not fast changes. They're not something that you see immediately, or maybe even sometimes see at all. It's something that you maybe not even really be able to wrap your hand around, and measure where things are at. And so, at times I have been very frustrated, very kind of down on myself about where I'm at as a leader, and what I can and can't do, and all this and that. And so, it's just been a journey. I will say that. And so here recently, we've spent, I guess now we've spent basically the last 3 shifts building this prop. Is gigantic multi-use prop that you can do just endless amounts of things on. And anybody that follows my page has seen pictures of this prop. And if you don't, feel free to go on Facebook or Instagram, the Crew First Culture pages there, and get an idea of what I'm talking about. But this thing is gigantic. It's for those of you in the fire service, it's you have the ability to VIS a window, Denver drill window. It's got low profile areas on the bottom of it with a box that's enclosed and semi-dark, and it's got wires in everywhere and just all kinds of stuff. And so that is what has led me to where I'm at with this topic today. Is, I've got a wide range of people that I have on my crew, and there's only 4 other people, but still, being 4 people, there's a wide range of personalities and interest in training, and interest in, everything else. And so there are some that love to get out and do stuff, and there's some that are happy with just kind of taking it easy for the day. And so that's always a challenge for any kind of person in leadership role, is just trying to figure out how to reach all these different personalities. And anyway, so I've got one guy that has been very vocal about not ever wanting to do the whole wire box uh, evolution again, ever. Like, very, very vocal about it. And because we did this department wide, and I can't remember how long it's been, quite a while ago, maybe 5 years ago or whatever. But he had a very, you almost call it a traumatic experience with it. He will tell you that up until that point, he never had an issue in a mask, never had any kind of claustrophobia issues, anything. And after that, after kind of really, just him being honest, is struggling with that evolution, he started to develop issues with those things, issues with kind of some mental toughness of dealing with his mask, and all that. And when I'm talking about this guy, he is not somebody that struggles with the job at all. And so I don't want to make it sound like, he is not able to do it. He's excellent. And so, these are just issues that are probably more in the back of his head than anything. It's not like you see him having trouble all the time. It's definitely a more mental thing. But anyway, we've been building this prop, and knowing kind of what it's going to look like at the end, and knowing that, he probably just won't involve himself in it. And okay, that's fine. There are lots of other things that this prop can facilitate, that he can involve himself in. And so, we'll work with what we got, and we'll, make whatever steps we can towards progress and positivity, just like anything else. And that's kind of how I was setting myself up for all that. And so we got it done last shift, which was Friday. Got it done, and okay, there's a couple hours left in the day before dinner time. And so, as much as I even personally did not want to do it, let's get out there and go through it and see how it is. And so, like I said, I did not expect to see him come out. I fully expected just to, for a couple of us to do it. And like I said, that's fine. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. There are things like that, they need to be addressed and need to be worked out. But there's also a timing and a right way to do it. And so that was just a kind of a thrown together time where me and a couple of the other guys just gonna give it a try. And so we were getting ready, and sure enough, here he comes, and he's geared up and ready to go. And I was very, very impressed by this. And so we go through it. Couple of us went through it a couple times, and he went through it, didn't have a problem at all. He's done it before and knows what his capabilities are, and knows that he's a bigger guy, so he knows that he can't go through it with an air pack on. So he right away takes it off and goes through it with the air pack off, and gets out, puts it back on, and handles it perfectly, very professionally. And I just I was very proud of him for doing it, for not only doing well, but just for coming out, and because I know him, I know what he said about these type of props. Just knowing what he had to overcome to get himself out there and do it is very impressive, and I appreciated that so much. I just respect him so much for doing that, and so that kind of led me to this topic of how much are we showing. We Hopefully you work with some good people. Hopefully you work with some people that do good things and work hard. Hopefully you have family that do good things at home, and everything. Like I said, this is a full life topic here. It's not just work, and it's definitely not just firehouse. But so that's where it kind of led me to, is you know taking advantage of the good of the people that we're working with, and really showing them how much you appreciate them. And so that's one of my firefighters that I have, that I've just it's been a, like I said, it's been a journey, and you just never know kind of who's going to buy into what. And so seeing him kind of slowly come around to the process is has been one of my bigger, just it feels good when I see him out and involving himself, and it's just been good. And I have a lot of respect for him, and when things like that happen, this truly helps me see that things are going in the right direction, and you just got to keep pushing. And so, like I said, that's kind of what brought me to this. And another one of my firefighters, he went through the first time and did awesome, did it super fast, way faster than I did, and did some other exercises and stuff like that. And he got closer to the end of the amount of air he had, and he told himself, okay, I want to do it one more time. And he didn't have to. None of this was any kind of mandatory thing. I only went through it once, so I didn't even go as far as he did, but he wanted to do it one more time. He wanted to push himself, and he got in, and he got into a place where he got hung up, and it was it was just one of those times where he had to deal with some things mentally, and just fight through it. And he did a good job. There are some things that we can all work on through it, and we videoed it, and he sat down after it was over and watched the video. And I think he kind of learned some from that too. But just the fact that he could have been done after the first time. Nobody's sitting there taking score. Nobody would have ever said anything if he didn't. But he wanted to push himself to go that extra mile, and really just see what he could do. And there's nothing. This is a guy that he needs to hear positive positive feedback, and And so that's something I've had to kind of get accustomed to, and I'm still not very good at it. I need to do better at it still, but he needs to hear when, he needs to hear this stuff. What I'm saying right now, that he's the type of person needs to hear, and that's fine. Everybody's, you have your own personalities, and like I said earlier, if you are a leader of these people, you've got to figure out what ways to reach people, what ways to motivate people. And so his or the positive affirmation type talks, and make sure he knows that you think he's doing good. And so I knew that he probably thought people were thinking bad of all this situation, and there's nothing bad about any of it. That I went through and had a decent time through it. I didn't get caught up too bad, but I guarantee you the next time I do it, I could be the one that gets caught up and starts to freak out and really has to fight through that. So, that that is an equalizer. It will bring you to the point of really testing your mental toughness, this box. And so anybody that thinks that it's not that big of a deal, and looks down on people that do struggle a little bit with it, you definitely haven't went through it enough, because you apparently just don't really grasp the the test that it puts on you. But anyway, I was very proud of him for pushing himself, and I had no negative feelings for him for getting to a point where it was a little bit of a struggle, and he made it out. He calmed down. A couple of us talked him through it, and kind of helped him to reboot a little bit and start over. And so he fixed what was going on, got himself out, and we made it to another day. We did. It was a good job. And so, again, I'm just very proud of him for that. He's somebody that is always out there with us, and no matter what we got going on, he wants to be better and test himself. And so, again, I'm very appreciative for that. We had my third firefighter actually had to take off yesterday to deal with some issues at home, so he wasn't there for the drill. But this is another guy that I am gained so much appreciation and respect for, because he his personality is a very quiet personality, very kind of held back to yourself, withdrawn kind of personality. And we all struggled as a crew, to be honest, when he came on with us, just trying to figure him out, really. And just figure out who he is, and how he could fit into the team, and all this. And it really took kind of just a open, honest conversation of saying, man, do you like being here? Do you want to be here? How do you feel about the crew? And I think that really kind of maybe tripped something inside of him, flipped a switch, whatever you want to call it, to make him realize, man, I need to kind of open up a little bit. I need to let them get to know me. I need to, really get outside of my comfort zone to be a part of this. And that's exactly what he's done. And almost really, to be honest, since that conversation, I've seen a big change in him. And that means a lot to me, because I know that's not natural for him. That's something that he has to intentionally put effort into. Some people are very just outspoken, and you don't have to ask anything. You know exactly what's going on in their life, and what kind of a person they are, and all that. But then others, it's a true struggle to get to that point, to open up, to become vulnerable and all that. So I I made a point a week or so ago to say, man, I really appreciate what you're doing. What the changes you're making of just kind of opening up and being a part of the crew and things like that. And his answer was, I'm I'm really trying, and just that simple answer really reinforced to me how much I need to make sure that I am kind of showing my appreciation. And because you could tell by his answer of I'm really trying, that he is really trying. He is putting true effort into what he's doing. And some people may think, oh, that's not really effort. All he's got to do is talk. Well, that's not you. That's not your personality. So you don't understand. You don't truly understand what kind of work is being put into that for him. So again, another one that I just want to show appreciation for. And the last person on my crew is somebody that I gained so much drive and so much inspiration from. And just I've learned more from him, being someone below me, below my rank. I've learned more from him to do my job better than anybody else, probably. And if probably my whole fire service career. And I've been with him for quite a while now, so that's part of that, just the time I've spent with him and what I've gained from him. But again, yeah, I'm very lucky to have great people that I work with. And we may not be on the same page as far as our passion for the job. We may not be on the same page as far as our character traits and our desires and what we find interesting and anything. We're very different in almost every aspect, but we enjoy being together. We're adults. We treat each other with respect and all of that. And it's something that I have got to make sure that I am showing appreciation for, and letting them know verbally how much I appreciate them, how much I thank them for what they're giving me and what they're giving the crew. And so that's kind of, that's the work life part of that. And so kind of to reiterate some of that, as to that's the thought for the week for you. Are you truly giving the amount of appreciation that is needed, or that is deserved, to the people you work with? And it doesn't matter if you're an officer or a firefighter. Anybody can say thank you. Anybody can say I appreciate what you're doing. Anybody can say, man, I really respect what you did today. That was awesome. Anybody can say that. And it means so much. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a guy that's been on the job 30 years and just acts like he's harder than nails. I guarantee you that person inside will be really touched by somebody saying that, man, I really respect what you did today. I really appreciate the effort you put in today, whatever that is. I guarantee you it's going to make a difference in that person. And so that's kind of where I'm going, and my point of the talk for today. And really, I would feel really bad if I didn't go even further into that, and to address my home life. And I hope that you're okay with me spending a little bit of time with that. But I have a wife that works so hard for us, very hard for. She literally spent, I don't know, a couple hours on a menu for the month to try to make things easier for all of us. And this menu, it included the the schedule that I'm on. So she knows, oh, on these days when I'm at work, it's probably easier to cook this, or and not even that. We've got two kids playing sports, so we've got a softball schedule to play around or to work around, and we've got a football schedule to work around, and my schedule. And so, this was a very intensive process, and I I just appreciate so much that she sat there and spent the time to think this all out, and especially for me. And I know this is a big deal. Probably part of the reason she does it is for me, because I am terrible at remembering things. I'm awful, terrible, terrible. And so many times I'm supposed to start a crock pot and I completely forget. So many times I'm supposed to pull out frozen, whatever, frozen meat of whatever kind, and I forget. And so, this thing has everything we're going to be eating for the week. I can look on it and see, okay, it literally says take out steak today. And yeah, it's just amazing. And it's just a tiny piece of what she does, and, just so appreciative to what she does and what she gives to our family. I'm not able to work any overtime right now. That's basically shut down where I'm at, and we're just kind of in a spot where we're trying to pay some stuff off. And so, she has the ability to work a lot of overtime if she wanted to. And so she's taken that on, and has done a lot of overtime to support the family. And, something else I feel bad about, but she's doing what she can to help us. And I just appreciate her so much. And, we've got 7 kids, basically 8 kids, because we've got one that we will claim. He's not legally ours, but we still claim him. But, these 8 kids, I there's so much on. I can't just sit here and go through each one of them, obviously. But, I've seen one of our boys, once he got to the age of getting a job, going out to eat. I think it was Red Lobster one night, and of course we're taking care of the bill, and of course we're paying the tip. But I glanced at him as we're leaving, and he quietly pulled some money out of his pocket and put it on the table for the waitress. You know, that was so big to me, and I don't think I know I've not said anything to him about it, and I should have. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I should have told him how much I appreciated that, how cool that was, how it is just. I gained a lot of respect for him seeing that, and I don't even think I've told my wife about it. But that was just it was just a cool moment for me to see. Another one is another one of our boys got into a wreck a couple years back. Just a fender bender, nothing serious, but we we kind of worked things out to where we paid it out of pocket instead of dealing with the insurance. But my wife had some communication with this other person that it was involved with, and she just had so many nice things to say about our son. And this is a lady that got hit by him, and probably something that he should have known better, or whatever. I don't even remember the details, and it doesn't matter. But this was a lady that very easily could have been very angry and irritated at the situation. But our son acted in such a way, such a respectful way, and all that she just had nothing but nice things to say about him. And that's another situation where it's like, that it's, it just makes you feel so good as a parent. And all of our kids are we have a daughter that's moved out, and you know has definitely had her share of struggles kind of in the teen years and all that, and struggles with me for sure. I went through some pretty hard times with her. And man, I just looking back at at who that was, who we both were back then, and who we are now, it's amazing. She's growing into such a great person, and I love when she comes over and just spending time with her. And we don't get to see her a ton, but I just love hanging out and being there when she's there. She's just turning out to be a great person. I'm so happy to see that. And all of our other kids, we just have some great kids. Of course they all have their struggles. Of course they all have their times where we're absolutely just completely done with their crap for the day and want to lock ourselves in our room, and we get tired of dealing with some of the same things over and over. But we just have great kids, and very lucky to have kids that people come up to us and say, man, you did a really good job raising them. Or they are so nice and act in such a great way. And things like that make you feel really good. And that being said, I have definitely not been a great uh, I've not done great at showing appreciation for those moments. Like I said, the one where my son put the tip down. I should have said something to him about that, because it meant it was enough of a situation to make me really stop and think of how cool it was, and how much it meant to me to see that. If that's the case, then I need to be saying that to him. If there are situations that happen that truly mean something to you, that you gain respect for somebody for, or you really appreciate something that somebody does, then we've got to get better at vocalizing that. And I am speaking once again to myself mainly right now, is we have got to do a better job of verbally appreciating those around us that do so many good things for us. And so that's kind of the topic. And I don't I, I hate bringing family or work relationships up, because you're obviously not going to address all the great things that are going on. I could sit here for hours and talk about what my wife does for us. I could sit here and talk about hours about what each kid brings to this world, that the great things that they are and what they can do. And so I hate I hate leaving those things out. But in the interest of time, we'll address some more later. But where are you at? What are you doing to show those around you appreciation? Are you telling people that you appreciate them, that you respect them, that you thank them for what they're doing? Are there times that have really impacted your life that you don't tell anybody about? What are you are you somebody that's had a conversation with somebody that truly, that conversation made a huge impact on your life, made a change in your life? If that's the case, you've got to say something to that person. You've got to show your appreciation. You've got to tell them the difference that they are making in your life. And that is a gift that you have got to give those people, because chances are those people are just doing it out of just because they they are that they are that person. They want to do good things. They aren't looking for praise, but that doesn't mean that we can't give it. And even being somebody that isn't looking for praise, we have got to show that appreciation, because when we do show that appreciation, that really plants the seed of what I'm doing is making a difference, and I've got to keep doing it because it feels good when somebody appreciates what I'm doing. And so by showing that appreciation to them, you're really just throwing gas on that fire. When they see that what they're doing is being appreciated, what they see, or when they see what they're doing is being respected by others, that is going to fuel them to keep going, to keep doing good things, to keep doing better. And so that's a gift we've got to start giving more of. It's a it's a free gift. It costs us nothing. It costs us little time. It costs no effort. There is no cost associated to it. It's just time. It's just time and energy that we put into these people. And so, I hope that you kind of take some time this week to think about that. What are you doing to show that the appreciation that you have for others, to take care of those around you that are taking care of you? And I hope that you are showing appreciation. If you're not, that's fine. It's time to start. It's time to start right now, because we all have people around us doing good things. We all have people around us that we truly appreciate what they're doing, whether we see it or not. And so we've got to give them that gift, and really help them to keep going, to keep doing the good that they're doing. And so again, I this is the point where I start circling around. So I want to end it here, but I hope you take some time this week to put some thought into that. To if you're somebody that is struggling in that area, think about some ways of being better at it. Think about some just really this is one more thing before I end it. This is something that has helped me, is to find things that I'm appreciative for, make notes of those, and start watching for times to bring that up. Because, like I said earlier, timing is important. And it may be somebody that you want to kind of pull aside and thank them in private because that's more of their personality. Or it may be somebody that you want to, at the dinner table, bring up right in front of everybody and show them how much you appreciate them. And so that's something that's helpful for me, is to make sure that I'm not being forgetful of these things, keeping notes about what I need to be thankful for and show appreciation for, and start really looking at the perfect time to do that. And so I'll leave you with that. I hope that you're starting out a good week. Hope you have a good Monday and or whatever day you're listening to this, and just really think about how we can start appreciating those around us more. And so thank you for your time again. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. See, I'm working on it right now. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I know these Monday episodes, some people like them a little more than the regular ones. Some people don't really care for them, and that's fine. I feel like they're good for me, and I feel like there are people out there that need to hear it. So thank you, and until next time, I hope you have a great week. Take care of each other and stay safe.